Up next, we have Komal, Ahmad, the CEO and founder of Feeding Forward. She's excited to share her story because hunger is the world's dumbest problem, and they have found a way to address it.
Guys, thanks. In my world, I operate on Brown Standard Time, clearly, so I was late, my bad. So just to start, my name is Komal. When I was growing up, my dad presented 3 options to me. He said, Komal, you can be doctor, engineer, or business. Khalas. And I think looking back, I could have probably been a lawyer too, but I didn't really want to do that. So at age 18, I planned my entire life out. I decided I was going to go to UC Berkeley, I was going to study integrated biology, I was going to marry my organic chemistry partner, and I was going to be a naval officer and medical doctor. So as you can imagine, nothing really worked according to plan, except, and I know this sounds cheesy, I did fall in love. It just wasn't with a person, but an idea. And I know, I said it sounds cheesy. So let me take a step back and explain how this happened. So I was walking down Telegraph Avenue in Berkeley, and this guy approached me, and he was like asking for some change to go buy a sandwich. And I said, yo, like I'm gonna go have lunch, why don't you just drink me? And not really thinking much of it. And he agrees. And during lunch, he tells me, his name is John. He came back from his 2nd deployment from Iraq, and he was recently evicted. And as someone who was going to be a naval officer, I was going to commission that following year. I'm like, this is not cool. This guy did one of the biggest sacrifices you possibly could to your country, and now he's on the streets begging for food. So I asked John, I said, John, where do you sleep at night? Where do you stay? And he's like, come, I'll show you. And so I follow him, which looking back wasn't probably the smartest idea on my part, but I do, I follow him, and he takes me to People's Park. And People's Park is one of the largest homeless sanctuaries in Berkeley. And it is very literally right across the street from our largest dining hall on campus, which I knew wasted a lot of food. And so for the first time, I see this juxtaposition of people who very literally have food and people who really, really don't have it and really need it. And what I realized is this is emblematic of a much larger problem, and that's every single day in America, a football stadium to its absolute brim full of food is wasted. And what's the paradox is that 1 in 6 Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. And in the Bay Area, that number is even higher. It's 1 in 4. So clearly, it's not a lack of food that's the issue, rather an inefficient and inequitable distribution of it. So it seems like a simple problem to fix, obviously. But I thought at that moment, what could we do? How could we make this distribution of food, feeding people and ending food waste as fast as possible? And how do we make it as easy so that other people participate? And after a lot of trial and error, I came up with Feeding Forward. And Feeding Forward uses technology to connect businesses with excess edible food to feed communities in need. And so I'll give you an example of how we operate. So recently, these conference organizers, contacted us and they requested a food pickup from after their event. And they said, we're going to feed 1,400 attendees total max. There may or may not be a little bit left over, but in case there is, we'd love to use it. Cool. So we go there and we realize that we're recovering enough food from their excess food to feed over 5,300 people. And let's put this in perspective. This is one conference in one city in one day. Think about how many conferences happen globally today. So, what makes us sexy compared to a lot of these hunger-alleviating solutions? Obviously, we're rolling in the dough, quite literally here. But we've also built real-time technology that ends this huge, massive problem very, very fast. And we've made a tangible impact. We've recovered over 722,000 pounds of food. And also, to put that in perspective, that's like feeding every child in the Bay Area tonight. And the impact we've made is great. Definitely, it's awesome. I'm so proud of it. But it's not enough. Because this is a really big problem. And the truth of the matter is there's something that's very, very small that we all could do, and we could actually eradicate it. So that's what makes it cool, right? It's a really dumb problem, but there's a very solvable solution here. So we encourage you, if you have a website or mobile phone, to go to feedingforward.com. You could be a food hero, you could help us deliver and drive out hunger from your local community. Or at the next event, luncheon, bat mitzvah, whatever, you remember that there's actually a solution for your excess food. And food is the one thing that brings us all to the table. It's something that we all need, a human right. And I think that today, working together, we can actually solve the world's dumbest problem in a way that will bring every single person a seat at this table. Thank you.